3, and 2, and 1. Now lift up. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to touch our shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Now hold here and lift 5 times. 4 more, and 3, 2, and 1. Now connect here and let's ring the bell 10 times. 9, 8, 7, and 6, 5, 4 more. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Now reach up, look up, and reach one arm, then the other, like you're climbing. 8 more times. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull back your arms. Thumbs to the back. 8 more. 7, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Touch your shoulders. Come all the way down. Now up and down. Make your arms long, like you're reaching to the ground. Feel that in your upper back. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, once more. Press way back behind you. Try not to hit your neighbor, though. 8 more times. 7, 6, 5, and 4 more. 3, 2, hold way back. Now squeeze inward. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now place the palms of your hands on the small of your back. Pull your elbows together and lift up. Look upward. Hold it here, stretching your back. Breathing. Take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then release. Now step out a little bit and circle the hips, hula hoop style. 4 more. 3, 2, once more, all the way around. And then back the other way 5 times. 4 more. 3, 2, once more. Now lift up one heel, then the other. 8 more times. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands in front, shake them out vigorously. Creates energy. Now stomp your feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now up to the top, palms together, bring it down in front, and take a bow. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Carla. And now Peggy Dolan has a presentation. I'll let you explain what you're going to present.
Okay, thank you so much, Carl. I was asked to sing some Irish songs, understanding that next week we have already planned some things, so they wanted some Irish songs today and a couple of little Irish stories, so you know I always have something to say. So, if you ever go across the sea to Ireland, then maybe at the closing of your day, you may sit and watch the moon rise over Claddagh, or watch the sun go down on Galway Bay, just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadow making hay, and to sit beside a turf fire in a cabin, or watch the barefoot Gosens at their play. For the breezes blowing o'er the seas from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the upland digging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. For the strangers came and tried to teach us their way. They scorned us just for being what we are, but they might as well go chasing after moonbeams or light a penny candle from a star. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and somehow I am sure there's going to be, will ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear land across the Irish Sea. Did you ever send to wonder how old Ireland got its name? Well, I'll tell you so you'll understand from whence old Ireland came. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day, and it nestled in the ocean in a spot so far away. And when the angels found it, sure it looked so sweet and fair, they said, suppose we leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. Then they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. Then they dotted it with silver to make its lake so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland. Now that's how my parents told me how Ireland got its name. And my grandmother and my grandfather came over in the early 1900s on the same boat, traveling steerage. They did not know each other. She was from Shannon and he was from Glenamaddy, a little town in Ireland. I had the great fortune this year to go to Ireland, and I went to Glenamaddy. And the driver that we had, he stopped by the post office, and he asked the postmaster, could you tell us, I've got a Peggy Dolan in the car, could you tell us, are there any Dolans around here, or is there a famous place she should see? He goes, yeah, I've got the Edward Dolan home, and my dad was named Edward Jr., and his dad was named Edward. And so they came and brought us to this little white cottage, and a cottage it was. Now, it was, I'm looking at the stage because that's about how big it was. And had 2 windows, and at that time, you were taxed for each of your windows from England. So that's why people usually only had 1 or 2 windows and a door. So they did not have a thatched roof because only the rich people had thatched roofs because they had to be changed all the time. They had a tin roof, and they had to buy new tin every few years. So I go to this little cottage, and my grandfather was born in the cottage. He was the oldest of 11. And when he was 16, his father gave him $10 and brought him to the pier of Somme, where most of the people from Ireland who were going to America at that time left from there. Also, the Titanic left from there, and a few days later, we all know that story. So they were on the same boat. They didn't know it. The ship manifest shows both their names, and also the ship manifest showed how much money you had on when you came on board and how much you had on when you came off. So where it said Edward Dolan, he had that $10 that his father gave him, and he said, now don't use this on the boat for playing craps. Well, when Grandpa got off the boat, it says $5. When he lost the 5, he said to me when I was a little girl, oh, brother, I wasn't about to lose the other 5. I couldn't show up to my uncle's with just with not $10. I was told to keep that $10. So he didn't crap away that last time, the last $5. So he brought no one with him. He was by himself. My grandmother, on the other hand, her last name was Shaughnessy, Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy. She was 14, and she had an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy that was part of their family of 10. And their parents sent her because they were starving. The ground wouldn't make the potatoes anymore. They couldn't grow anything. They were starving. So and they couldn't afford to live in the places because of the English taxation. So anyway, she went. She was 14. She had these 2 kids. So I got to go to this pier, and they painted the walkway where the immigrants would walk to the steerage part of the boat, because they didn't go on where the main part of the boat was. So most of the immigrants were steerage because they couldn't afford much. And you could do steerage for about $2.50 at that time. So she had the 2 kids. She walked the red sidewalk, and they went along their way. When they got off, they came to Ellis Island. And on Ellis Island, my grandmother tells this story very, very fervently. She said, you had to pass medical inspection. And if one person in your party had anything contagious or even a cold, you and your party were sent back on the ship, and you went back to where you came. So on the ship, her brother, he got pink eye. And his eye became bulbous and really big. And so she thought, oh, what are we going to do? So she had a knit cap, and she pulled it down over his eyes. And she said to him, when they come to look at us, you start crying into my coat, and you put your head into me, and you hit me saying, I want my mom, I want my mom, I want my mom. They won't bother us if you act up, so act up. So here comes there, and they're looking at each person. They're checking for lice, checking for colds, any marks on your body, if any chicken pox, measles, you were sent back. If you had a cough or a cold, a chest cold, sent back. So she said, okay, start, Bobby. So Bobby started beating her, she said, and he would look up at her, and then she would put his head back down. Keep your eyes down, she'd say. And they came by. They could see that he was frantic. And the one nurse said to her, oh, it seems you've got your hand full. He's okay. She walked away. So that's how she got to come. She met my grandfather. They both lived in downtown in apartments that their aunts and uncles had. So they lived with aunts and uncles, and they brought their little, grandpa only had $5, but she still had $10. And they did not know each other, and they met at church in St. Louis. So that is their little story, how they got over here. And I was so happy and proud to stand there where they did that. It was amazing. And then to see the little house where my grandfather was born. And it was one room. It had a fireplace at this end, 11 children, and I don't know how they did it. And he was a farmer. They were doing well, and then suddenly the ground turns bad. The famine came, as you know, and so that was the end of a lot of good times for them in Ireland. So they came across. They sent home money. My grandfather got a job as a hod carrier, carrying cement for the bricklayers, and they were building downtown. Then my grandmother became a nurse's companion, where she followed a nurse, and if elderly people were in these apartments and needed attention, she would stay back and she would do things for them. So she got her job, and all of their money went back to Ireland. She got everybody back. When it came time to get mom and dad, they didn't want to come. Same with grandpa. Came time to get grandpa back. Grandma and grandpa stayed there. They never came back. They never even visited America. So my grandfather said that because of the famine, the little kids were starving. And his dad said to him, I don't need to come back now. Your mother and I can eat. I needed to feed all of you. So they were very poor. They did have a barn. I got to see the barn, and it was similar to the house, only it didn't have a cement floor. It had a dirt floor. And they put a fireplace at the end of the barn, and my grandfather told me that as the boys got older, in the winter, the boys slept in the barn with the fireplace so they could stay warm, and the others stayed in the house. So what a story. And that's our little Irish story that we tell. And then these old songs, my grandmother taught me, my father taught me some of them. And so I hope you like them. Some of them are slow and sad, like Oh Danny Boy, you know that one, that's kind of slow and sad. And my mom would always say, they're dying or laughing. They never do anything in between. The Irish are either dying or laughing. And my grandmother said, they're either drinking or playing craps. That's all she knew. So, and pretty much a lot of times they say, oh, that's what the Irish do. But anyway, we had fun being Irish. And one time I went to a Catholic school and we had a uniform. And the nun said, you can't wear anything else but your uniform. Don't be wearing any green. So I was upset. And I said, Mom, they said we can't wear any green. And my mother said, well, you have the map of Ireland on your face. You don't need the green. So I was in second grade, and I went up to the nun, and I said, Sister, my mom said I don't need any green. I have the map of Ireland on my face, so there. And the sister said, you can sit down, Margaret. So Margaret sat down. So anyway, I'm going to do another one for you. And it's a familiar one. You probably all know this, and I mentioned it in my little presentation. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses dying. It's you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Tora, Laura, Tora, Laura, lie. You know the chorus. Tora, Laura, Laura, hush, now don't you cry. Tora, Laura, Laura, Tora, Laura, lie. Tora, Laura, Laura, that's an Irish lullaby. And now I'm going to give you a fast and funny song that my dad taught me. And the nun in second grade, she did let me sing this song that day. So she knew I knew this, Patty McGinty's Goat. And so she let me sing that. Wouldn't let me wear any green, but I got to sing Patty McGinty's Goat. I'm Mr. Patrick McGinty, an Irishman I know, fell heir into a fortune and bought himself a goat. Said he sure the goat's milk for me to have me fill. And when he got his nanny home, he found it was a bill. Now all the ladies who live in Callaloo, they're all wearing bustles like their mothers used to do. They each wear a bolster beneath their petticoats. They leave the rest of the problems to Patty McGinty's goat. Little Nora McCarthy, whose knots was so tight, She washed up all her trousseaux and hung them out to dry. Along came the goat. He spied the bits of white and chewed up all her fineries upon her wedding night. Oh, turn out the lights! Quick, she shouted out to Pat. Although I am your wife, I am not much looking at. I've had two of everything, I told you when I wrote. The only thing I'm sure of now is Paddy McGinty's goat. Off the west coast of Ireland, one morning there was seen, as plain as a daisy, a German submarine. Coast Guard Maloney threw over in a fit. Said he to Paddy McGinty, now it's time to do your bit. Well, he hopped into the water as swiftly as a whale, side-dived the fireside and exploded with a bang. Now, if you go to heaven, you can bet your bottom note the angel with the whiskers on is Paddy McGinty's goat. Toralure, Toralai. If you're feeling low, you'll soon be feeling high. Oh, it's wonderful Irish music, and it's never flat or sharp when Paddy McGinty plays the harp. That's Paddy McGinty. The whole family knew that one. We were forced to sing it at every family occasion. When I learned all the words to Paddy McGinty, I was forced to sing that. And when I learned the Ave Maria, my uncle made me sing that. It was 4th of July. And he stops all the fun and said, Peggy's going to sing Ave Maria. And I was about 7. Oh, Uncle Mickey, it's not really a holy day. This is red, white, and blue. Why don't I do some Jimmy Cagney? You're singing Ave Maria. So, and I did Ave Maria at his funeral. I almost laughed through the whole thing. It was so funny. So let's give you a song to finish with that you might remember it from an old vaudeville movie about vaudeville with Judy Garland. She sings this, and oh gosh, she just does this song just wonderfully. Okay? I woke me up this morning and I heard a joyful song from the throats of happy Irishmen, 100,000 strong. Don't you know that today's March 17? It's the day of the wearing of the green. So I fetched me Sunday bonnet and the flag I love so well, and I bought myself a shamrock just to wear in me lapel. Don't you know that today's March 17? Well, it's the day for the wearing of the green. It's a great day for the Irish. It's a great day for fair. The sidewalks of New York are thick with blarney. For sure you'd think New York were old Killarney. It's a great day for the shamrock, for the flags in full array. We're feeling so inspired, sure, because for all the Irish, it's a great, great day. Happy St. Patrick's.
Thank you, Peggy. And now Jan Ittner is going to do a reading.
Well, these are some senior stories, they're called. Hospital regulations require a wheelchair for all patients that are being discharged. However, while working as a student nurse, this little nurse came in one day and saw an elderly gentleman, already dressed, sitting on the bed with the suitcase at his side. And he said, "Oh, I don't need any help." She said, "Oh, yeah, but you have to sit in this wheelchair to leave." After a chat about rules, he reluctantly sat in the wheelchair, and they went down to the elevator. On the way down in the elevator, the nurse asked him, "Is your wife going to meet you?" "Well, I don't know," he said. "She's still upstairs in the bathroom changing out of her hospital gown." Now, a couple in their 90s are both having problems with memory. During a checkup, the doctor says, oh, you're both very physically fit, but you are having trouble with your memory. You might want to start writing things down. So later that night, while watching TV, the man got up from his chair. You want anything while I'm going into the kitchen? Sure, she says. I'd like a bowl of ice cream. Don't you think you should write that down? No, I can remember it. Well, I'd like strawberries on top, too. Maybe you ought to write that down. I can remember it. You want a bowl of ice cream with strawberries. I don't need to write it down. I can remember ice cream, strawberries. I've got it, for goodness sakes. So he goes into the kitchen. Well, he's in there a long time. Finally, he returns from the kitchen, and he hands his wife a plate of bacon and eggs. She stares at the eggs. She frowns a bit. She says, I told you to write it down. You forgot my toast. Now, we can all remember and looking at someone and saying, surely I can't look that old. The lady says, hello there. My name is Alice Smith, and I was sitting in the waiting room for my first appointment with a new dentist. I noticed his diploma on the wall, which bore his full name. And suddenly, I remembered this tall, handsome, dark-haired young boy with the same name that was in my high school class some 50 years ago. Could he be the same person? But after seeing him, of course, I thought, oh, no, it couldn't be. This balding, gray-haired man, too old to have been in my class. After he examined my teeth, I said, hey, did you attend Morgan Park High School? Oh, yes, I did, he said. Go Mustangs. I'm a Mustang through and through. When did you graduate? I asked. He answered, in 1967. Why do you ask? Well, you were in my class, she said. He looked at her and said, really? What did you teach? Now, an elderly couple had dinner at another couple's house, and after eating, the wives left the table and went into the kitchen. The men began talking, and one said, oh, last night we went to a restaurant. It was wonderful. The food was great. Oh, it's so good. I recommend it very highly. Oh, really? Said the man. Well, what's the name of the restaurant? Oh, the first man thought and thought. I couldn't think. Well, what's the name of that flower? You give it to someone you love. You know, it's red. It has thorns in it. You mean a rose? Yeah, that's the one. He looks towards the kitchen and says, hey, Rose, what was the name of that restaurant we ate last night? Now, a few quick ones. An elderly lady had a serious hearing problem for years. She went to the doctor, and he was able to fit her with a set of invisible hearing aids. The lady could hear 100%. She went back in a month to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, your hearing is perfect. Your family must be so pleased that you can hear. The woman said, oh, I haven't told my family yet. I just sit around and listen to the conversation, and I've changed my will twice. 3 old gals were out walking on their way to shop. The first one says, windy, isn't it? Second one says, no, it's Thursday. The third one said, so am I. Let's go get something to drink. and a man was telling his neighbor, I just bought a new hearing aid. It cost me $4,000, but it's state of the art and it's perfect. Really? Said his neighbor. What kind is it? Looked at his watch. He says, it's 12:30. And now always remember, forget the troubles that pass your way, but never forget the blessings that come each day. Have a wonderful day with many smiles.
Thank you, Jan. Those are very funny. And now Bo is going to come up and give you the answers to the trivia. Bo Mattishoe. Oh, is it you, Mel? Misinformation all over the place. Sorry about that.
That was funny, Jan. Now we got to get serious with trivia. I'm filling in for Wiz, Jim, but not to worry. If you will please hold any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, grievances, he'll be at the door when you exit. You can give those to him. All right, number one, true or false? As a tropical plant, coffee is not grown commercially within the USA. How many say true? Hold your hand. Oh, I think it's false. Coffee bushes produce commercial coffee in Kenya, Hawaii, and in parts of Southern California. Number two, what was the name of the citizen of St. Louis who guided and directed the construction and operation of the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904? You got it right. David R. Francis served as president of the exposition company responsible for the fair. He was formerly mayor of St. Louis and governor of Missouri, and Francis Park in South St. Louis is named after him. Quite a guy. Number three, name the famous Army general born in Laclede, Missouri in 1860, who commanded the American Expeditionary Force in France during World War I. Winners. John J. Pershing. What was the meaning of mufti? Ooh, let's don't be so quiet. Anybody? I didn't know it. Civilian clothing in contrast to a military uniform. Military folks wearing civilian clothing called mufti. Aren't you glad? Okay. All right, I think everybody got this one. How many feet, unit of length, are there in 1 mile? All right. True or false? Turtles and tortoises are actually reptiles. True is it. True or false? Turtles have teeth, while tortoises do not have teeth. False. Neither turtles nor tortoises have teeth. Instead, they bite and chew using their hard beaks. What is the literal translation of sophomore? Got it. Very good. Wise fool. Wise fool. Name something made out of steel that will not sink when placed into deep water. I've heard ship, or a boat, or a hollow ball. Last one. All the ladies ought to get this one. How many teaspoon measures are contained in a tablespoon measure? 2, 3, 4, 5. How many answered 3? Oh, we had a few that did get it. All right, that's it. 3 is the answer.
Thank you. I'll report to Jim that you did a good job. Jules, you want to do a short video?
Scotty! Yes! Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Hello,
What is the name of your group?
we are Avantgarde from Japan.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to America. Is this your first time in America?
Yes,
A lot of people have said when they've come for the first time they love the burgers over here. Have you been eating burgers since you got here?
来てからバーガーが美味しいっていう人が多いんですけど、皆さんも食べてましたか？
もちろん食べました。
Of course we ate burgers.
Okay, I'm guessing this is a dance group.
これダンスグループですよね。
Yes,
What makes you guys different than other dance groups that we've seen before?
なぜこのダンスグループは他と比べて違うんですか？
日本の魂を詰め込んだオリジナルダンスをします。
Because we have an original dance piece filled with the Japanese soul.
Well, the stage is yours. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
I like them.
Beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Have a great week, everyone.